My grandma's part of our thing, and she's Lakota, and she knows all the traditional culture and stuff.
We'd all be helping each other.
You mean your grandma would let me interview her and teach me about Lakota culture? With you guys, really?
Yeah, we'd be a team.
Oh, you think she'd teach me how to dance?
Actually, funny thing, our presentation is all about dancing.
I'm Larissa FastHorse, and I'm the writer of Teaching Disco Squaredancing to Our Elders.
A class presentation.
Bye, Amanda!
So I keep thinking I shouldn't say this, but I had the deadline for Native Voices. I really wanted to submit something, so I really believe in what Native Voices is doing and the kind of work they're trying to do. And I had no clue, because I had a lot of writing projects going on at the time, and I had no idea what to write about, so I went to the library. I wandered around nonfiction. I grabbed random books off the shelves that had weird titles until I had this basket full of like 50 books, and I couldn't drag them any farther, and I sat down, I started sorting, and I thought, oh my gosh, can you imagine if you got some of these titles like as a book report or a class presentation assignment or something, and that was born.
Tell me how doing a presentation on do-it-yourself disco dancing can't be lame. And then combine it with, what did you get?
Teaching square dancing to senior citizens.
Then I went through with purpose, like finding my favorite books in the library and thought, what if you got this one and this one and this one? You had to put them together, and then how would that work in a story about contemporary Native American kids and dealing with different contemporary issues that were really close to me. The easiest one was Amanda, because she's me, which I shouldn't say. But I mean, she started with a lot of things that I went through as far as being adopted, being half Lakota, half white, being a klutz, being an outcast, just a lot of things I went through and that I've always kind of wanted to express for kids as far as showing them another path through those middle school years. And then Martin and Kenny are both based on kids I know. They're really a compilation of different kids I've known that have had the same issues or the same difficulties that these kids had. And then Grandma is just the grandma I always wanted.
I don't think my poor old eyes can read this thing.
No one likes a sarcastic grandma.
I've got idle TiVoed. Call me when you've done your work.
There's kind of a tradition of children's theater many times being just either educational or just pure fun entertainment, and I think Brian Davidson called it rainbow and unicorn theater, which is okay, that's fine, it's got its place. I really, you know, when I was a kid, it mattered to me to have things that were smarter, the things that made me think, things that let me see other lives that weren't like my own and made me wonder and care about those lives. And then it's also important for me to see kids here that, you know, don't have rainbow and unicorn lives, that have had a lot of difficulties and would like to see themselves on stage. And it's really important. I've had a lot of really moving experiences just with this play already, with kids coming up to me saying, it's the first time I feel like I'm not the only one. I didn't know that there were other people going through this.
What about social services? They can find you a place to stay.
They'll put me in foster care. I'm not doing that again.
But you can't sleep on the kiddie bridge. You have to tell someone.
I just did. And you said you wouldn't tell.
But this is serious.
No kidding. I'm the one sleeping in the park.
I'm Randy Reinholz. I'm the artistic director and co-founder of Native Voices at the Autry.
Grandma, who is the primary teacher of your culture to you?
Do you know our word for adoption?
No, I don't want to talk about that.
Hunka, a family by choice. That's very special.
I know. Was a grandmother your teacher?
Everyone's a teacher, like you kids. Slow down there, my head could roll off.
The title, Teaching Disco Squaredancing to Our Elders, a class presentation, I think she kind of had that in there as a placeholder. And she was sure that would be the first criticism was, and the title doesn't work. No one ever said anything about the title except it was funny. She said, I kept waiting for you to make me change the title. You're going to make me change the title. And I was like, it just works.
Today, we're celebrating our living culture. Woo!
And it's been great. The students have responded to it. The grown-ups have responded to it. The actors seem to really enjoy it. I had to call Rob Vestal, one of the actors, today about something else, and I said, so you're to the point where you're kind of a little bored with it, you know, it's getting close to closing? No, I'm discovering it. And he just went on and on about how much he's liking it.
I'm LaVonne Rae-Andrews, and I play Grandma Two Hawks. Grandma Two Hawks is Lakota, and she grew up on a reservation. And she knows all the tribal dances, and yet she's really cool. She's really hip. She's today. And so that's what makes her interesting, because the playwright, Larissa FastHorse, has written it so that it's not something that you would think the way an elder lady would be. So she doesn't have like the long gray hair with lots of wrinkles and the great wisdom, yet she has it, but in a different form. Sometimes it still hits me when I hear words like open range and pioneer.
Why?
Kenny's great-great-grandfather tried to file for a land claim. He saw what was coming and figured it was better to get the land in Indian hands than white. So I was excited because the Native Voices Playwrights Retreat, which was done last year in June, I was invited to be involved in that and got to read different characters, and I particularly liked Grandma Two Hawks. All the plays are really good, but I really was drawn to this one because she's a different type of an elder. And so when I heard that the Autry was going to be auditioning, I really wanted to jump aboard that train and see if I could get involved in the theater group. Have you heard of the Native American Graves Protection and Repatriation Act?
No.
It made museums give back the things they stole. My mom was still alive to see her father's body returned and buried behind her church. That was a good day. And there's just so many facets of it. I can see it going further than this. I would love to see it go on the road or to movie or television or something, because there's so much. It has many, many levels at different voices that are spoken. So for Native voices, I think it's a perfect voice to hear.
My name's Tonantzin Carmelo, and I'm playing Amanda Smith.
She's adopted. Her parents are the white couple who own the coffee shop. She's half Lakota and half white. They're nice people, but I doubt they know much about Lakota culture.
She's kind of a loner. She does her own thing, and she's also very into her studies, and she's kind of very nerdy, very klutzy, and so she has a really hard time integrating with all the rest of the Native kids.
Exploring your culture, taking oral history, that's easy. It's like a report on your grandparents and stuff, right?
Yeah, except for I don't have any grandparents, and even if I did, they aren't my culture. It's mean to make someone do a final presentation on something they don't have.
She is forced to do this project with Kenny and Martin, and in the course of that, she kind of starts to learn some things from Grandma.
Kind of like the socials we had on the reservation when I was a kid. Everyone would come over and drum and sing and have a big open fire with roasted meats. The dancing circle would go on all night.
That would be so amazing. I can't imagine.
It's the same thing.
No, it's not. Not for me.
I've watched a lot of people when they have trouble dancing, and it was really cool to be able to bring that into that, like little hang-ups that people have. I have them too, but I've worked through them as a dance major in college. You know, you kind of study like how to keep your shoulders relaxed. So I had to like tense up my shoulders again. Actually, when I first read it, it just kind of, strangely enough, Amanda just started talking out of me, and I'd never heard her before. And it was a very strange thing. I was like, oh, wow, what is that? And she talks differently, she acts differently, she moves differently than me. And I just let her do what she wanted. And it was kind of nice, fun. So I was really inspired by her immediately.
I'm Robert Vestal, though everybody calls me Rob, and I'm playing Martin Leads to Water.
You know, when I was a kid, I used to imagine that one day my real family would show up, say that I was adopted by mistake, and take me back. That would have been the best day of my life.
Maybe not. Did you ever think that they could be worse?
No.
Martin is from a broken home, is the quickest way to say it. He has parents that they have a lot of parties and they're reckless, and he's sort of from a home that's not really a home. He doesn't have a place where he ever feels stability, which is a really defining point for his character.
You can't do this! I want to be home! Please let me in!
The most important thing in these plays is to empower the kids watching it. So kids who are from homes that are, you know, broken homes or any kind of issues that this play deals with, we're empowering the kids in the audience to, you know, to do something positive in their lives. And I think that's important, stuff like that.
Can I tell you something? Something you can't tell anyone?
Sure.
I'm not going to live at home anymore.
What does that mean?
I'm never going back.
You know, and I love Native Voices. I've been with Native Voices since 2002, and it's just great to be around here and be working and helping Native storytellers, Native playwrights tell these stories.
I'm Noah Watts, and I play the role of Kenny Two Hawks.
Don't tell me about my life. You don't know anything.
You're not the boss, Kenny!
I'm the boss of disco.
Kenny is a Lakota Indian. He grew up in South Dakota, and he lives with his grandmother, and his parents kind of aren't around, and so he's kind of a loner, kind of outcast.
No, it's cool. I'm gonna go head over to the wall for a while. See you guys tomorrow.
He doesn't really have any plans for the future. He doesn't really care. Throughout the course of the play, he gets into fights with his best friend over whether or not he's going to stay and finish school, or you know, whether or not he's going to drop out.
I'm flunking, and you know what? I don't care.
Yes, you do. You're not flunking. You're on the cusp.
Cusp? Seriously, if I have to say cusp to get into high school, I'm not going.
Kids tend to laugh out loud more than adults do at this show, but I still think that adults watch it and they get a sense of maybe nostalgia or a feeling of remembering that time in their life when they were that young, and all the little nuances that go on into relationships at that age. I like to do Native Voices plays because I think they are done by Native Americans, written by Native Americans, and it's exciting to be a part of a new play that's never been done before. And I enjoy the character, I enjoy the comedy and the truths behind it, and I like working with the staff and the theater company as well.